All right, please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
My name is James Thomas, 169-400.
All right, James, my name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Miss Jackson and Miss Wise will be your panel. Explain the process to you, read some information to the record, have a parole interview, ask you some questions. You can respond. At the end, you can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
And then we'll have Miss Lucille Landry speaking at the appropriate time. And we'll have Mr. Jacob Thomas speaking and Miss Chelsea Landry. We're also in opposition. We'll have Miss Margaret Hayes speaking. James Thomas, DOC number 1694004, class offender. Parole eligibility date 11/14/2012. Good time date 2/19/2038. Full term date 2/14/2039, 35 years. Operate vehicle, driving while intoxicated, third offense, operating vehicle intoxicated, fourth offense, and vehicular homicide. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
How old are you, Mr. Thomas?
62 years old,
How many years have you been incarcerated?
18 years, 9 months.
When's your last disciplinary write-up?
2020.
What was that for?
It was fighting.
What about it? Anything, before that, what did you have? Did you have any intoxication while you were in there?
No, sir.
What do you currently do there at the jail?
I'm a librarian. I deliver books to the beavers. That's my job.
Okay. And have you been to Steve Hall?
Yes, sir. 9
When
months.
did you go to Steve Hall?
I went to Steve Hall in 2018 and I got out in 2019, a 9-month program.
And let's see, you were heard. And you say you were denied after you had gotten out of Steve Hall?
Yes, sir.
What'd you learn in Steve Hall about yourself and about your addiction?
I learned where my problem started. Now, they got a program over there they call motor recognition therapy, and it takes you back. It's sort of like the 4 step or the 12 steps, AA, and it takes you back in your life, your past, your history, and finds out where your whole problem started. And mine started when I was 17 years old.
Doing what?
Sir?
How'd it start at 17?
I lost my brother in a car accident, and I guess cover up all the hurt and pain I was going through. I started drinking, and then it just spiraled out of control. And from that point forward, I became an alcoholic. And then after that, I couldn't stop.
And did you ever try to get treatment while you're out there? While you were out?
I did, yes, sir. I went to AA meetings a few times, but I don't know. My alcohol the alcoholism was just so bad that I couldn't stop. I'll be honest.
So tell me about the night of the accident.
Sir?
Tell me about the night of the accident. Where were you going? Where were you coming from? What were you doing? I know you had your children.
I was coming from Gulfport, Mississippi, and I was going to Grand Isle to bring 2 of my youngest children to be with their cousins and nephews for Valentine's Day. Anyway, when I got down around Bouchon area, I come around the curve doing the speed.
Let me ask you a question before that. So you had been drinking obviously before that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was
Been drinking just on your own, by yourself, at a bar? What?
I drink by myself. I don't go to bar rooms and all that.
So you have been drinking all day? I mean,
Yes, sir. I started drinking that morning, and that afternoon when we got in the wreck, I was intoxicated, ran off the road, hit a light pole, killed my daughter, And then this is where it ended up.
How old was your daughter at the time?
9 years old.
And you had several DWIs before that, though, correct?
Yes, sir.
Any time in jail?
No, sir.
They just kind of let you go?
Yes, sir.
What, I see you've had some hospital stays. You have any medical condition?
Here,
Yes.
I cut my fingers off and I ended up in the hospital for that. And other than that,
How'd you cut them off?
with the table saw.
Okay, so you got them back on. I mean, you can use them. Oh, tops up, tips. I got you.
It just chopped the first digits off.
I,
But anyway, then, I went through some medical treatment or some tests for my heart. They did some tests to see if my heart, they thought something was wrong with my heart. It ain't nothing wrong with my heart. Then they did some thing where they stuck some scopes up in my arms to go check my arteries because they thought it was clapped. There ain't nothing wrong with them. So other than that, I have no medical problems.
and what, so what's your plans if you were to be relieved, to let go early? Where would you go? What would you do? What's your plan?
My plans is to parole to my son's house. After that, the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna report to the parole office within 24 hours. After that, I'm gonna become active in an A group they call Between the Bridges in Gulfport, Mississippi. I'm gonna get a sponsor, and then I got a job already. So I'm gonna go to work and I'm gonna
Okay,
stay.
what job?
I have a job with cover up, painting and drywall in Gulfport.
So you're gonna move to Gulfport? That's where your son is?
Yes, sir. Well, it's in in Saucer.
Yeah, over in that, yeah, associate over in that area, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So what do you think about your addiction? Is it something that you're gonna have to fight the rest of your life? Be in AA, the rest of your life, or you think you got it kicked?
I got control of it. I really do. I study AA. I might shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say this. Mr. Wise was on his board the last time I came up here. And I sort of take him as a sponsor to me because he told me that I need to wake up to AA for the rest of my life. I took that advice seriously. And I don't only wake up to it, sir, I go to sleep to it. I became an AA member here in Hunt. I am a member of the AA group. And I've been through every substance abuse treatment they got this in the last year. So I got control of it. I know how to handle it now.
So how are you gonna handle that? Are you gonna stay involved in AA every day, or what are you gonna do?
Yes, sir. I will wake up to it, and I'm planning on going to 3 AA meetings a week. And I want to give back to my community by helping other alcoholics. With the experience I have, I should be able to help.
Or do you have any input for me?
I just want to add that he is a trustee in his current job as a librarian. And, he has taken advantage of a lot of treatment, from Steve Hall, living balance, anger management. He's done a lot. He's definitely on the right track. I think he understands the seriousness of his addiction.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, we'll hear from now Ms. Lucia Landry. Would you like to make a brief statement?
Yes, sir. She can hear.
Yes, I would like to
Okay, go ahead.
I have been James's partner for over 31 years. I'm here today to support him and hope that after 18 years in prison, James will be granted parole. Despite his history of significant transgressions, I believe James has realized the error of his ways and is ready to embrace his sobriety and become a productive member of society. He will have the full support of his family to ensure he remains in recovery. We as a family will continue James's healthy habits of attending AA meetings by ensuring he will have transportation to those meetings. We are going to have a zero tolerance attitude when it comes to the temptation of relapse. We know for James to continue sobriety, we must keep any and all temptation from around him. James's family will not tolerate any drinking. He's made use of his time incarcerated by learning new trades and improving on that which he already knows. He has aspirations of supporting a father-son mechanic woodworking business if released. As you should know, he has a job waiting upon his release. James is very much loved and missed. Our family has grown significantly in the last 18 years, and we very much love to have him home where he belongs. We are a very tight-knit family that keeps to themselves. That's why it's extremely important to us to have James home with us and return to his role as head of our family as a husband, father, and now a grandfather. James has 14 grandchildren here in Mississippi that are anxiously waiting to meet their grandfather. I will conclude my letter by saying losing our baby girl Jade was a tragedy which I would not wish on any parent. Losing her is still very hard to deal with, and although we have grieved, we have yet to grieve as a family and hope. On behalf of our entire family, I'm pleading with the great state of Louisiana to really have mercy on us and release James. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, now we'll hear from Jacob Thomas.
Well, I didn't write nothing down, but hold on. Let me gather myself. It's been 17 hard years growing up without a father, but I will make sure he does everything he's supposed to do, and he will not be he will not be around any temptation such as drugs or alcohol. He will be going to any AA meeting he asks me to bring him to, and I will make sure that he is constantly busy doing something as far as work or helping me with around the house activities such as remodeling, stuff like that. So with that being said, the environment he's coming to is a very loving and caring environment. It's not no negativity over here. I don't do that. So
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comment. We'll hear from Chelsea now.
One second. These last 18 years have been a long, hard road for my family and I. I not only lost my sister, but in a way I lost my dad too. Many special moments and celebrations we have not been able to share with my dad, but many more in the future I am hoping he will be here for. I believe losing a child would be a real eye-opener for anyone. Understanding the mistakes and learning from them, seeing my dad work hard to become a better person has been a great thing, not only for him, but for our family. We have been grieving for so long with one another, but my dad has had to do this alone. The pain we all feel will never fully go away, but with my dad home, we can finally heal as much as we can. Coming home will be an adjustment, but he will have us to his full support system. We are here to make sure he makes every meeting and anything else he may need to get to. He has a lot of time to catch up on with all of his grandkids. We would be very grateful if he can start making special memories with them. I'm asking that you allow us the start of our healing and let our children grow up with their grandpa.
All right, thank you. Now we hear from Miss Margaret Hay.
Yes, good morning again. Just wanted to bring to the board's attention, Mr. Thomas, as you are aware, is also serving a sentence for a fourth offense DWI out of Jefferson Parish, which he was sentenced to 20 years on February of 2005. While he is almost completed the full term of that sentence, he, of course, is also serving this 35-year sentence. And the state would like to suggest that if it is the board's decision to parole Mr. Thomas, that he be mandated to wear a scram bracelet for public safety reasons. That would be it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
I have a question. I'm sorry. I have a
Well,
question.
so-
Warren, for some reason, we did not get his disciplinary report. How many has he had in his 18 years of sentence total? How many, right?
38.
38. And none of them were intoxication or anything of that nature? Just
No,
give it
ma'am.
through.
No, ma'am, not that I saw. I looked through them yesterday. I didn't see any.
Right, thank you, sir.
All right,
That's all right.
would you like to make a statement on your behalf, Mr. Thomas?
No, sir, I think everything's been said.
All right, great. It's been a fair to vote. I'll vote first. Got a lot of support, man. Look, you've been through you put your family through a lot. You put your
Yes,
family
sir.
through a lot. That's all on you. A lot of drinking. I mean, year after year after year. You caused a lot of problems throughout your life. I know it's something that you'll have to deal with. You'll have to continue to work on. But you do have really good family support, and that's positive. That's a good thing. I am concerned. I'll be honest with you. I'm concerned. Anytime someone like you comes in front of us, it's difficult because public safety is our number one goal here, and it is concerning. But look, I see you've done a lot of time. You've got all the good family support. You got some good award and comments, and you've taken a lot of good classes, and you've done well. So my vote today one vote would be to grant to Gulfport, Mississippi. Go to Gulfport. I want you to go to NAA 4 times a week. I want you to maintain full-time employment. I want you to have community service. 6 hours a month. Speak to people that try to help somebody. Go to church or wherever. And then, and also I would add to wear a scram bracelet at least for the first 6 months to see if we to make sure things are going well. That would be my vote, and just one vote. Ms. Wise?
Mr. Thomas, I'm concerned about you.
I can't hear her.
I said, I am concerned about you. I wasn't saying anything. I was paused. I wasn't saying anything. But I feel inclined to take a chance on you. And I am going to take a chance on you. My vote is to grant conditionally upon ICOX to Mississippi is approved, and the scram bracelet. And I would like for your family to get involved in Al-Anon. That would really help them transition. It's just a suggestion. We can't order them to do anything, but you can suggest it. So they can walk side by side with you, with them having a little more learning. And what really stood out to me is your family said they're going to change their life for you. They're not going to have any alcohol at Christmas, no wine. They're doing their part.
Right.
So you got to do your part. Best wishes to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Thomas, likewise, I'm going to vote to grant the fact that you haven't had it, not right up to the incarceration. And it being responsible for the death of the child isn't enough to get you away from alcohol, and nothing ever will, but need you to understand the magnitude of what you've done. And so my vote today would be to grant, have a strong support system with the financial grant to an ICOS to Mississippi.
All right, you have 3 votes to grant your parole. Do you understand stipulations? You'll go to Gulfport, Mississippi. You have NAA 4 times a week. Maintain full-time employment. You have community service 6 hours a month and 6 months scram breaks. Do you understand stipulation?
Yes, sir.
All right, 3 votes to grant. Your parole's been granted. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's unpack this. I have to start by saying that this DUI manslaughter case is just totally different from the other ones that we've seen on this channel for many reasons. And that makes it actually where I feel good about his release. Seeing his family. So like to break it down, the other DUIs, they had this hubris about them, and this like chip on their shoulder, and really this like energy and vibe that you would consider them a monster. He's a shell of a man. If you look at him and his just his body language, he's slumped over, he's shrinked up, he's ashamed. He's living in 2 prisons. He's in prison in his mind because he killed his daughter. And he's in prison and he's never going to escape that. His son that spoke was also in the car. I have the report actually, and I'll share it with you. When you read it, man, it gets you angry because he had more than just 4 DUIs. He had more than maybe 10 because they're in different states. He also showed up to court. He had a jury trial. And he was blaming it on the crash on the highway not having signs, like proper signage, at least according to this article. So the man that went in it took him a while to humble down and I guess become the man who he is today. You can say, man, how does he... that's a whole different story, how someone can keep getting these DUIs and just not, he never even spent a day in jail. It's interesting is that his family really seems like just a tight-knit, wholesome family. But then there's this like simple side to them where, they're here at their father's parole hearing. They're judges in suits and fine clothing, and they're kind of just like, like there's just no awareness that maybe I should put something nice on. It's interesting, but they really did seem like a sweet family. And when he started answering about alcohol being a problem, I thought he was about to like go off the rails when he's like, yeah, it's not a problem. It's like, oh no. But then he retracted and he said all the right things. And again, I don't believe that he's figured out to say the right things, how to get at. I do believe that he that he is not a sociopath. He's not a narcissist. He was a man that legit was just a serious, hardcore alcoholic. He crashed and killed his daughter. And he's been living in his own hell. And he's going to have to live with that. And he, and he's, if he goes back to drinking, man. But I like to think that, like Miss Jackson said, if this incident that happened with your own daughter wouldn't stop you, then nothing will. And it's just such a different. There's no victim advocate really that's even speaking. It's like he's his own victim, and his whole family are his victims. So not letting him out would just be further punishing his family. That's also true. And then I guess the scrambler bracelet, why only 6 months versus why not 5 years? I guess it's because of the expense. I think it's expensive. And maybe he'd have to cover the cost. And I guess the idea is like 6 months will help him get to it's like an extra security blanket for the first 6 months. And also the point that he doesn't have any alcohol write-ups. You can get prison out booze. So, either he was never caught or he actually stopped drinking, which would say a lot. Because if you're a serious alcoholic, that's what you're going to want when you're locked up, right? You're going to want to do anything you can to get your hands on it. You're going to need it. You're going to need it more than you ever needed it after what you just did to yourself, to your daughter, to your family. And well, if he did, he wasn't caught. So that's another factor that I don't think that he, I think that he was actually, anyways, I think I said enough on this. So with that, I'll let you go.